In the heavenly realm, there was a heavenly being who lived in a heavenly palace. By the river beside a bridge, there was a little heavenly flower, so fragile, like it would fall apart any minute. And so the heavenly being saw this flower and felt such pity for it. And so he took care to water this flower each day, and so it was able to live out its years because of this. One day the heavenly being became bored of being in heaven, and so he wanted to experience the passions of the red dust realm, the human world, and so he decided to give up his immortal body and to be born in the earthly realm. Around this same time, there was a rock sitting on a heavenly mountain. This rock was a stone that was discarded after the creation goddess repaired the sky with magical stones. The magical stones were alive, and so this stone sitting on the mountain became bored and wanted to experience something more. He could see down through the clouds to the red dust realm and thought it looked exciting. It was then that a monk and a Taoist passed by this stone on the heavenly mountain, and the stone said to them, "Please, make me smaller and throw me down there so I can see what it's all about." And so the monk warns the stone that it'll be very heartbreaking, but he agrees to the request. And so the heavenly being and the little magic stone are born together in the human world. The boy was born holding the stone in his mouth, and so his name was False Treasured Jade, Jia Bao Yu, and he would always wear the stone around his neck. The spirit of the fragile heavenly flower saw the heavenly being descend to the mortal realm, and so she thought, "I must follow him to repay his kindness for watering me." And so the flower was born in the human world too, a girl named Jade Band in the Forest, Lin Dai Yu. And she traveled to the mansion where the boy lived, and they grew up together and became inseparable. However, the traditional society proclaimed that they could never be together, and the girl, Lin Daiyu, being a poetically gifted and fragile soul, could not be allowed to exist as she was in that society. The boy lived a life where he was treasured by his grandma and got to frolic in a huge, beautiful garden, creating poetry together with all of his sisters, along with the girl, Lin Daiyu. But he was rebellious against the traditional society. He hated men with a passion and felt intense empathy for the female, proclaiming that men are made of mud and that girls are made of water, and so he too experienced much friction in that regard. One day in the garden, the cherry blossoms are falling from the trees in myriad of petals. The boy thinks it is so sad to see these flowers fall in the mud and be trampled, and so he wants to gather the petals and sprinkle them in the stream to flow freely through the limpid waters. At that same time, the girl is also gathering the flowers from the ground, but she tells the boy, "Don't put them in the water. Though the water here is pure, who knows where it will flow off to? Where they flow, the water is sure to be dirty, and they are sure to be defiled and destroyed." And so she gathers the flowers in a cloth bag and proceeds to bury them in the earth, weeping over them, comparing their fate to her own. And thus is how the flower would repay the kindness of being watered by the boy in the past life. She would repay the kindness of that water with her own tears, until there was no more water left. In the end, the family tricks the boy into marrying another girl named Treasured Hairpin in the Snow, Xue Bao Chai, and the girl Lin Daiyu dies alone of a broken heart. The boy finds out about this only after it is all too late. The boy is last seen wandering into an empty expanse of snow, never to be heard from again. The stone returns to its perch on the heavenly mountain, the words of this story being etched into its surface for all eternity.